What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Oh, welcome in everybody to episode 220. I am your host, Derek, aka Sleezbomb on X. My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Podcast. Hope you are having a beautiful Friday morning here. The weekend is almost here. Today, this episode, we are going to be going over my top 10 Dynasty running back stashes that you should be picking up if they're even on your waiver wire right now. These are going to be important players come this year. If you guys want to know anything about the Dynasty trade value, how to acquire them, stuff like that, we also have launched our Patreon, the Guys FF, where I have every single player ranked, every single trade made that can be made. Me and my co-host, Big Draft Energy, he also does the best ball side. So if you guys need everything covered in fantasy football, that is there as well. Before we dive into it, guys, as always, make sure you tap that thumbs up, hit that like, smash that subscription button. All the support's appreciated, whether you're listening on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. I cannot thank you guys enough. And remember, if you have any fantasy football questions, it does not have to pertain to this video. Drop them in the comments, guys, and I'll try to get to every single one of them to help you guys dominate your fantasy football leagues this year. And let's dive in to my top 10 Dynasty running back stashes for 2025. Starting off with number one, it is going to be the 22-year-old running back Trey Benson, who came out of Florida State for his rookie season last year. Did not get off to a good start. Looked kind of sluggish as well. They said he's added weight and explosion this offseason already. But last year in 2024, he had 63 attempts, 291 yards, 4.6 yards per carry, found the end zone once, 6 receptions for 59 yards as well. And when you're looking at James Conner, and if you listened to my content last year, I didn't like the running back class coming out last year, but I did think that they would be, relevant as we come down the stretch here. And I think that time is now with Trey Benson. So when you look at James Conner as well here, right? Now, James Conner still going to be a running back I target heavy this year, redraft 100%. But when we're looking at James Conner, he's 30 years old, will be 31 next year. My cutoff for my Dynasty running backs is usually 26. I want to move them by then. You can play the 28-year-old game as well if you're contending for a championship. I get all that. But James Conner will be 31 next year. So you have to look at his contract here as well here, right? So he has a 2-year, $19 million contract to 2026. But next year, they can opt out as well and only take a $2.25 million dead cap hit, which is something the Cardinals could be looking into as well. Now, James Conner, over the past since 2020, guys, he missed 2 games last year, 2023, 4 games, 2022, 4 games. 2021, 2 games, 2024 games. He is always banged up a little bit here. Never really had a major serious injury, but always a couple games here and there. So this year, let's say he misses 2 to 4 games and he's older, recovery time takes longer. This is going to be the year where if he goes down, Trey Benson is going to explode, and you're going to be looking at a split running back room or him possibly taking the job. And if you own James Conner in Dynasty, you better have Trey Benson as your handcuff and trade for him right now. One of my favorite running back stashes to pick up in 2025. Number 2, and this is one of my favorite ones, the 21-year-old rookie Jaydon Blue out of Texas, ran in the SEC last year, had 134 attempts, 730 yards, 5.4 yards per carry, 8 touchdowns on the ground. But where he is going to help the Dallas Cowboys so much this year is going to be in the receiving game. And he put up 42 receptions for 368 yards and 6 touchdowns there as well. 14 combined total TDs in the SEC and about 1,100 yards total. Now, when you look at the Dallas Cowboys this year, their running back room consists of Javonte Williams. If you've been part of my show, you know where I stand on Javonte Williams. They got old man Miles Sanders. The opportunity is going to be there in just bunches this year. And why do I love him so much for the Cowboys this year? Not only the fact that they have CeeDee Lamb, who will draw the doubles. They bring George Pickens over, who's going to be an absolute electric wide receiver 2 for them. Jake Ferguson to run the middle. And their receiving, passing back, thriving running back is going to be Jaydon Blue. And what are they going to be? They're going to be a pass-heavy team this year with this running back room. Offensive line got better, of course, but still, this is going to be your game-breaking running back. You know that Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams are not game-breaking running backs. This man's speed can explode this year, and he's going to pop big ones here and there. Love him in best ball and love him as a dynasty stash this year. Go get this man if you haven't already. Number 3 is going to be Marshawn Lloyd out of USC, whose rookie year was cut short with just crazy injuries last year. Barely even got to see the field. So he had 6 attempts for 15 yards, 2.5 yards per carry. Did not find the end zone at all in his rookie season. Also, that's limited time. 1 reception for 3 yards. Now, why am I going to say that Marshawn Lloyd is a good pickup, dynasty stash, even a good handcuff this year in redraft? We got to look at Josh Jacobs here. So Josh Jacobs right now, age 27, the running back cutoff, like I said, usually hits age 28, signed his 4-year contract for $48 million to 2027. But there is a potential opt-out this year as well, which could save $9.375 million in dead cap. I don't think that's going to happen, obviously, because they're contending for a Super Bowl this year. But you have to look at Josh Jacobs. So played the full season last year. Before that, missed 4 games in 2023, missed 2 games in 2021, missed 2 games in 2020, and missed 4 games in 2019. Now, why am I showing the injury list here for Josh Jacobs? Because last year, guys, there's this fantasy rule in people's head. When you have 300 touches and you're an aging running back, it could be scary the next year. Josh Jacobs had 337 touches last year. Obviously, they leaned on him heavy because, Jordan Love almost blew his knee out in week 1 on that terrible field in Brazil. So they just pounded the run. You had Malik Willis come in. They pounded the run even more. It's going to be a different look Packers offense this year. I do think they're going to rest Josh Jacobs a little more than they did last year. And if anything were to happen to him, Marshawn Lloyd is so explosive when he gets out there. Man, it would be like he would earn time, and it would be a different split share when he gets out there. I really liked Marshawn Lloyd coming out. It's just hard to, pan him behind Josh Jacobs last year. But if anything were to happen, this is one of the best dynasty stashes you could pick up because this offense is going to be potent this year. Number 4 is going to be the 22-year-old Will Shipley on the 2nd year of his rookie contract out of Clemson. Didn't see that much work last year, but he did get to see work, in the last game of the season when Saquon Barkley sat out. So he had 30 attempts, 82 yards on the season, 2.7 yards per carry. Did not find the end zone in his rookie year. 4 receptions, 35 yards. And when you have to look at, like I just talked about Josh Jacobs, right, with his massive amount of touches, you have Saquon Barkley fighting so many curses this year. I'm not saying Saquon's going to get hurt in any single way. If there's any unicorn that could survive another 400 touch season, it would be him. But what you have to look at is he took 378 touches while missing a game. He would have had 400 plus. He would have broke the rush. He would have, broke all the records, everything like that. And if there was no tush push, he probably would have broke fantasy altogether in one. Now, when you're looking at this year, Eagles have a massive offensive line. They just won the Super Bowl. They're trying to not have the Super Bowl hangover, trying to go back to back. Will they rest Saquon Barkley at all this year? A little bit, maybe. If anything were to happen to Saquon Barkley, it's one of the best positions you could be in with all the weapons they have. A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, massive offensive line, Jalen Hurts, Will Shipley, and I do not believe that A.J. Dillon will be, it could be like a split. It's kind of risky to say that Will Shipley would be the full-time guy, but I do believe that he would get more percentage of the snap share than A.J. Dillon if anything were to happen to Saquon Barkley. And you have to love the situation. And if you own Saquon Barkley, I'm definitely going to target Will Shipley. It's one of my favorite dynasty stashes this year at running back. Number 5, and this one is very, very tricky. It is going to be Ray Davis. So 2nd-year running back out of Kentucky. He's a little older, age 25, right? But look what he did with the time he got it last year, and then we're going to get to James Cook here in a second. So 113 attempts, 442 yards, 3.9 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns on the ground, 17 receptions, 189 yards. That's 600 plus total yards, 3 touchdowns through the air. That's 6 TDs as well. This is the Bills running back success, right? So now you have to look at James Cook. This man put up 18 touchdowns last year. But what is scary about James Cook right now is that contract holdout, selling his house in Buffalo, all the drama. Of course, when you want a contract, he shows up for minicamp. He does need the money. He only missed 1 game last year with injury. But the question you have to ask yourself when you're looking at the Buffalo Bills, led by Josh Allen, one of the top 2 quarterbacks in the NFL, you could argue 1 if you wanted to. You have to look at what can Ray Davis not do that James Cook does. You saw him get in there, and you saw him be exactly the same running back, which is why they possibly think and their cap rate is very, very bad. The Bills cannot afford to pay him right now. They'd have to make some moves, restructure some contracts. But Ray Davis could go in there and do the exact same thing, and I think the Bills know that. So if you're a James Cook owner right now, I'm definitely going to get Ray Davis. And if I could get Ray Davis from someone else right now in Dynasty, I'm going to get him as well, because the situation is very, very murky waters right now, and Ray Davis could explode in this Bills offense. Number 6 is Zach Charbonnet, who showed last year that he can be the lead running back on a team, which is very, very scary for Kenneth Walker. We'll get to that in a minute here, though. So he had 135 attempts last year, 569 yards, 4.2 yards per carry, 8 touchdowns on the ground, 42 receptions. He can do it in the receiving game as well. 340 yards there, almost 1,000 yards as the RB2 on a team combined, and 9 touchdowns, almost hit double digits there as well. Now, Kenneth Walker on a contract year this year, playing for his contract. That's what people want in fantasy football. I'm not against that in any single way. When K9 is out there, he is electric. He's one of my favorite running backs to watch. But K9 has a health concern problem. Last year, missing 6 games. His second year, 2023, missed 2 games. His rookie year, missed 2 games. This guy hasn't played a full healthy season since he's come into the NFL. And now you have a run-heavy Kubiak system here, which could, possibly take him down again. So if I own Kenneth Walker, I am 100% making sure I have Zach Charbonnet. And if I have any other way to acquire Zach Charbonnet without Kenneth Walker, I'm doing it ASAP right now. Not because, I'm saying Kenneth Walker is bad. He's just very, very risky. Getting into his contract year, turning 25 this year as well. Charbonnet could explode and win fantasy championships down the stretch if anything were to happen to Kenneth Walker this year. Number 7, and this is one of my favorite ones, in Braelon Allen. 21 years old, played in the NFL last year at age 20, 92 attempts, 334 yards, 3.6 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns on the ground. He can do it in the passing game as well at his 6'1", 235 frame. He got 19 receptions for 148 yards and a touchdown there as well. So pretty much almost a 500-yard season and 2 touchdowns playing from behind, Breece Hall last year. The Jets were kind of in shambles last year too as well. Now, they bring in Aaron Glenn as the head coach. He's already talked about a committee. And what the most scariest thing here is for the Jets is Breece Hall owners right now. And if you've followed any of my content, I've not been targeting Breece Hall. I'm barely drafting him even in best ball. I've not traded for him anywhere. I've got rid of all my Breece Hall shares. Probably one of the only content creators standing on this line. Everyone else would tell you to acquire Breece Hall. The only way... let's go to this update first. So the update that just dropped was, if the Jets are not in contention by their Week 9 bye, you can expect Breece Hall to be moved. Then I would like Breece Hall. But Braelon Allen, if you're heading down the stretch with Justin Fields at his dump-off rate to the running back, with his 4th highest in the NFL, Braelon Allen can do it all. Big boy. This guy could win fantasy championships down the stretch. A massive dynasty stash with his age 21. And Breece Hall is one of the sketchiest running backs to me in this system. I have zero trust in it. I'd rather own the backup 100%. And you could say Isaiah Davis as well, but I like Braelon Allen. What I saw from him last year, he looked like a monster, and I want to acquire him everywhere. Number 8 is going to be DJ Giddens, the rookie out of Kansas State. And man, he was my must-draft rookie before the NFL draft happened, and he slid way too far in the draft to the Colts. If you watch this guy at Kansas State, he backpacked them for 2 years straight. But in 2024, he put up 205 attempts, 1,343 yards, 6.6 yards per carry. He is a game-breaking running back. 7 touchdowns. Also can do it through the air. 21 receptions, 258 yards, 1,500 total yards, and adding a receiving touchdown to that as well to give him 8 total TDs on the season. And now you have to look at the Colts situation here. They do have Khalil Herbert. Could Khalil Herbert win the job over him here? Could be. But we've seen Khalil Herbert. I think they would lean more towards the DJ Giddens side. But we have to look at Jonathan Taylor here. And when you're looking at Jonathan Taylor, right? Jonathan Taylor last year, has always missed his games. So he's 26 years old right now. I messed that graphic up. Contract, 3-year, $42 million with the opt-out in 2026 as well to save them $3.3 million in dead cap as well. But Jonathan Taylor last year missed 3 games, still had the 303 touch on the ground game, 321 total touches together. Now you have a Colts offense led by Danny Jones, or if you're going to say Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson, I mean, either one. You got Anthony Richardson in the rap game right now, posting crazy videos, which makes me nervous about him either way. But Jonathan Taylor always misses games. Since he was running back 1 in 2021 when he balled out and played the full season, He's missed 3 games this year, 7 games in 2023, 6 games in 2022. Now, they lose 2 of their best offensive linemen. Their quarterback play is going to be very shaky this year. If they decide to lean on Jonathan Taylor, how much do you trust him to stay healthy when you just look at what's happened in the past 3 years? He's missed 16 games in the past 3 years. That's an average of 5+ a game. DJ Giddens at age 21 could come in and electrify the Colts offense if anything were to happen to JT. Obviously, I'm not wishing injury on anybody, but he's just had this consistency of injuries, getting older. He's heading into age 27. I mean, this is one of the best stashes to me. I loved what I saw from DJ Giddens in college. And if I own Jonathan Taylor, you better make sure you have DJ Giddens. Number 9, and it's one of the spiciest ones that I really, really like, is Kyle Monangai, the rookie out of Rutgers that is headed to Chicago. And DeAndre Swift is the running back. We all know that he hasn't seen a goal line carry since elementary school, right? But this is going to be broken down in tons of way here of why I love Kyle Monangai here. So Rutgers, 2024 stats, 256 attempts, 1,279 yards, 5 yards per carry, 14 TDs, 14 receptions for 75 yards, putting up 1,350 total yards and another touchdown through the air, making it 15 total TDs. And look at the year before as well. And this is in the Big Ten. It's not like they're playing bad competition. He had 1,262 yards the year before as well on the ground with 8 touchdowns as well. Now, when you're looking at the Bears situation here, you've seen Roschon Johnson. I do not believe that they think that Roschon Johnson is going to be their goal line back. I believe it's going to be Kyle Monangai. And when you look at DeAndre Swift, yes, DeAndre Swift and the Bears, Caleb Williams got all the additions you could ever want in your second year as a quarterback. The offensive line is boosted. In the draft, they go get Colston Loveland, they go get Luther Burden, and they have Ben Johnson, the wizard, who's going to coach them like crazy. But when your coach goes out and gets players like Ben Johnson does, these players are going to be impactful. He's one of those coaches that likes the players that he brings in. And I'm not going to say that DeAndre Swift, he's 26 years old, doesn't really have a massive injury history. He's missed 2-3 games here in the past couple of years, or he missed one game in 2023, 2 games in 2022, and 4 games in 2021. So he does have a little bit of injury history, but he's not a bruiser in between the tackles. He more is a zone scheme outside in the receiving back. And there's a world here where Kyle Monangai possibly could even get this starting role if he looks good through the season. One of the best dynasty stashes. If I own DeAndre Swift, you better make sure you have Kyle Monangai. And if you don't, go get this man anyways, because it's very, very cheap right now. And he might even be on some waiver wires. If he's on a waiver wire, go get this guy 100%. Last but not least, number 10, shout out to my guy, James SEO, for making me just believe in Tahj Brooks, because I've been a Chase Brown truther this year. But there's a couple ways we have to look at this here. So Tahj Brooks, 5'10", 220, bruiser, Texas Tech, senior year here, 286 yards, 1,505 yards, 5.3 yards per carry, 17 tutties on the ground. He can do it through the air as well. 28 receptions, 199 yards there, about 1,700 plus yards and 18 total TDs he put up last year. And if you look at the year before that in 2023, he put up 1,538 rush yards there as well, to go along with 29 receptions. Again, this is a do-it-all running back, drafted very late in the draft because the running back class was so deep in this class that great values fell later in the draft. Now, we look at Chase Brown. Chase Brown, I love this year. I think he's going to explode in fantasy football. You have the Bengals, who have all their money tied into Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. Their defense is going to be abysmal. We don't know if Trey Hendrickson's going to sign. The Shamar Stewart contract is ridiculous right now. I don't know what the Bengals are doing on the defense side of the ball. They're probably going to be the worst defense in football. So they're going to have to score at will. Now, when I look at 5'10", 210-pound Chase Brown, he survived all the massive snap share workloads. He was at like 85 plus for the last 7 weeks of the season. Can that sustain? Or do I have any faith in Zach Moss with his neck injury? Probably not. He's still on the last year of his contract there as well. I do believe Tahj Brooks is going to be the running back too here. But man, if anything happens to Chase Brown, this man is going to be one of the best gems in fantasy football every single way. Dynasty, best ball, redraft, everything. One of the best handcuffs because of the offense, how the offense process is going to have to work. They're just going to have to score 40 points a game. Who does not want the running back in that offense? If I own Chase Brown, you better make sure you go get Tahj Brooks. And even if you don't own Chase Brown, go get this man, because if anything were to happen, this is a sky is the limit running back. Thanks for rocking with me today, guys. That is the end of the episode. Sorry for the red camera. I got my Niner stuff everywhere, and of course the sun, bangs through right here on this side. And before we head out, guys, as always, make sure you help me out. Tap that thumbs up. Hit that subscription button. All the support's massively appreciated. I mean, I cannot thank you guys enough. When the journey started last year to where we're at now, it's absolutely amazing. And again, we're talking about the 10 Dynasty Stash running backs here. If you guys want to talk fantasy football 24/7, if you want to know the values, if you want me to break down the wizard mastery mind of my mind as a weapon for trades, this is the premium Discord. It will be pinned on the video. $5 to get in to see every single thing that we do for fantasy football to help you guys win. We have about 82 members right now, and we're about to start pumping more and more. I cannot thank you guys enough for all the guys that support us on the Patreon as well, or the premium Discord. And that's it for the episode, man. Sleez bomb out. I'll catch you guys in the next one, which is going to be Dynasty, or my 2025 deep sleepers right now that are in camp playing with the first team offenses that people need to be paying attention to. Dynasty, redraft, everything.